Now, that new HIV pill is expected to help avert more than 300,000 new infections in the next 20 years. For a reaction to that, we're joined now via Skype by Lauren Jankelowitz, CEO of the Southern African HIV Clinicians Society. Thanks for your time, Lauren. We appreciate it. So tell me, what impact will this pill have on HIV treatment in this country?
So we're very excited about the launch of TLD, of this new kid on the block or new wonder drug. And the reason we're excited is because it is a much more tolerable drug, which means that people can take it for long term. It's easier to take. It's got fewer side effects. It's got fewer significant adverse events, except for the adverse event that delayed its launch in the first place, which is for women of childbearing potential who are not on contraception. There have been higher than expected neural tube defects to the fetus in infancy, during pregnancy, and this was in Botswana, and it's derailed kind of the program around the rest of the world while we waited in South Africa and in other countries in Africa to see if the drug would have the same impact on our population. We have found that there are almost no neural tube defects, but taking any medicine at any time, including during pregnancy in particular, is very dangerous, or can have other side effects. So that's literally the thing that we are worried about and that we're watching, but we're not as worried as we were a year ago, because there's been a massive study that has been completed in South Africa, the biggest in the world, that has showed that the medication is safe.
Yeah, I know you mentioned this. I know you mentioned this briefly, but the department says its rollout could avert over 300,000 new infections in the next 2 decades. Explain how that will work.
So because the medicine is easier tolerated, it's more tolerable, what it does, and it also has a stronger barrier to resistance. So what it means is it's a little bit more forgiving. People are human. They might take a tablet late one day. They might even miss a tablet. And with dolutegravir, as opposed to efavirenz, the medicine handles that. It doesn't cause resistance straight away. Now, a lot of the time, people delay their medicines or they skip a day or two because they're getting horrible side effects. And efavirenz can have terrible side effects. Patients complain of migraines and nausea, dizziness, and lots of neuropsychiatric side effects like bad dreams. Dolutegravir can also have these side effects, but relatively easily dealt with by moving the dose from the evening to the morning.
And very quickly, can you tell us what this pill is able to do that the old ARVs weren't able to do?
So because this pill has a higher barrier to resistance and it's easier to take, it helps people adhere for much longer. And remember that people are on treatment for life. And we encourage people to find out about their HIV statuses and to get on to antiretrovirals as soon as possible. What having TLD does is it places South Africa amongst the top programs in the world. It's really a top-class, world-class drug that is cheaper in our country, but is actually often unaffordable even in first world countries. So we're lucky that we have it, and we are hoping that the neural tube scares from last year won't put too many women off taking it, because it really provides a viable alternative for lifelong treatment. So we agree. We think that numerous millions, hundreds of thousands of new infections will be avoided, and we also think that far fewer people will die.
Thank you.
Having dolutegravir as a more tolerable drug.
All right. Thank you so much for your time and your insight. We appreciate it. That is Lauren Jankelowitz, CEO of the Southern African HIV Clinicians Society.